What's going on? 4:04. It's the 24th of October, a Friday, a purple Friday at that. And I hope you guys are all well ahead of your weekends. It's week 8 of this NFL regular season. Thanks to all my sponsors, my bookie, Preston Automotive Group, Manta Sleep, and a number of others that continue to power this channel along with the Vault. If you could on the way in, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership. I'll get to as many super chats as possible if and as they come in today. And as you can see right now as a pinned comment in the live chat, if you'd like to call in and share a thought going into this Ravens-Bears matchup on Sunday at the bank, you can do so by clicking that access link. Okay, here's what I've got going on. Multiple quarterback developments have dropped within the last hour or so, and both come from the Ravens, of course. One, Lamar Jackson was upgraded to a full participant today after being limited Wednesday and Thursday. And Tyler Huntley has been named his primary backup. It remains to be seen who's going to be QB1, although signs are pointing towards Lamar perhaps getting the call and being ready to go. He was listed as questionable despite that full participation designation after Friday's practice earlier this afternoon. Again, he is dealing with a hamstring that's forced him to miss the last couple games, including much of the second half in Kansas City against the Chiefs earlier this month. The rest of the list, Cheeto Awuzie trending towards playing, full participation all 3 days. Zay Flowers, good to go with that shoulder. Kyle Hamilton, good to go with the groin, as he was a couple weeks ago against the Rams. DeAndre Hopkins, good to go, just an illness. Same thing with Marlon Humphrey earlier this week. Pat Ricard, certainly trending towards playing for the first time in 2025, has not logged a regular season snap since January, and let's call it a postseason snap since that was the last game that he appeared in against the Bills in the divisional round. And, of course, them waiving Zaire Mitchell-Payton, their former undrafted rookie tight end, who's been playing a lot of fullback, at least alignment-wise, for the Ravens offense this year. It does suggest that number 42 will be back out there, and they're going to be better for it, regardless of whether or not he's on a snap count. Roquan Smith expected to be active and ready to roll after missing the last several weeks with that hamstring. You get the sense it's a little bit extra for him this week, knowing this is his former team and it didn't exactly end well. Ronnie Stanley, his was non-injury related. His DNP today, non-injury related. So that's a great sign for Lamar or Tyler Huntley's blindside protector. And Devontae Walker, full participation Wednesday through Friday. He's good to go with that oblique. But you see the title of this video, multiple quarterback developments. One, it's still unknown whether or not Lamar is going to go on Sunday. But the fact that he was upgraded to a full participant, the fact that a lot of this season rides on this upcoming game, and the fact that he is now several weeks removed from that hamstring strain does lead you to believe that Lamar is going to try and give it a go. And if he can't, it is Tyler Huntley who will be QB2, not Cooper Rush. Their acquisition in free agency back in March, over $6 million they paid him to come be their quarterback. Here's Harbaugh on the quarterback situation, particularly Lamar.
I know this. He practiced today, full practice today, so that was good. And we'll see where we're at going forward. I just think we're going to talk about it as we go and figure out what we got to do to try to win the game. I mean, that's really what we're going to try to do. You know, what's our best opportunity to win the football game on Sunday? Where does everybody stand, including number 8, Lamar, and anybody else? And that's just how it goes. And you do your best. And really, you could, I'm sure, when we do talk about it at length, you know, but it's not really a public conversation. And we're going to try to put our best team out there and play our best.
That was courtesy of AJ Gersh and Fox 45, so thanks to them for the footage that has not yet been posted, or maybe it has been posted, but I just didn't have enough time to track it all down pre-show because I got 5 o'clock dinner plans with my aunt in, not Clearwater, where are we going? St. Pete Beach, I think. She visited and is visiting from New York City, so looking forward to that. But again, Lamar being a full participant, encouraging news. the Ravens deciding to make Tyler Huntley QB2, encouraging news after what Cooper Rush has been. Look, a lot of you probably are trying to take victory laps on me because I've been on record in recent weeks for saying that Cooper gives them the best chance to win. Not behind this line. They need a mobile quarterback. They need an extending play caliber and able quarterback, and that is Tyler Huntley. Do I think that Tyler's going to move the needle? Is he capable of beating the Chicago Bears if indeed he's tasked with doing so this upcoming weekend? He's beaten them in the past. He's won games for the Ravens in the past. But given the state of this offensive line, I just don't have a lot of confidence really in anyone aside from Lamar, given his greatness, his escapability, his elusiveness, his extending play type of ability that he's made a career off of, that and a whole lot more. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence in anybody behind this line right now with the way that it's playing. Alignment-wise, don't know if we should expect any changes. If there is, I would venture to guess that it would be right guard. Is Ben Cleveland the next man up if you're benching Fa'alele? That remains to be seen. Would it be the former undrafted rookie and Corey Bullock? Look, while I've continued to stand on the idea of that it may not change the overall outcome of games or the overall output performance-wise of this line as a whole, can it get any worse than what we've seen from their guard play through now a 6-game sample size? So I am open to that. I am open to the idea of turning to Ben Cleveland this upcoming Sunday in a gotta-have-it moment. You got to hope that Ronnie Stanley's ankle can hold up, or else you got to go to Joe Noteboom. And when you go to Noteboom, it's a guarantee for a drop-off. And that's problematic. The guard play has really been lackluster, and Andrew Voorhees deserves his part in that blame. Tyler Linderbaum, I think, would be the first to tell you that it hasn't been good enough. And Roger Rosengarten, which is what Cole Jackson spoke about at length on the Collective Tuesday night, has regressed in year 2. Whether or not that's more about his running mate to his left and Fa'alele, that's a conversation for another time. This has not been a group that's upper echelon. It's not been a group that has opened up opportunities for Derrick Henry and this running game. It's not been a group that's allowed Lamar Jackson to be fully comfortable in the pocket. It's led to hesitancy. It's led to discomfort. And it's ultimately led to a hamstring injury, which has put the Ravens really behind the 8 ball right now, no pun intended, as they look to salvage this season first and foremost against the 4-2 Chicago Bears this weekend. As far as the Bears are concerned, from a health perspective, Ravens got a little bit of help. And again, this is just kind of discussing Ari was here, what we already discussed. And if you're just tuning in, Lamar listed as questionable despite being a full participant today after being limited Wednesday and Thursday. So encouraging signs for him, but we still don't know. We still don't fully have it confirmed that Lamar will suit up on Sunday. And Tyler Huntley has been upgraded to QB2, meaning I would think Cooper Rush's roster spot is in jeopardy moving forward, but we'll handle that when we get there. Here's Chicago's overall injury situation. And again, I think there's some reasons for optimism here based on some of the absences they have at the top of their screen. You see it here with this graphic. Kyler Gordon, defensive back, out. Rashawn Johnson, running back, out. Offensive lineman Braxton Jones, out. Cole Kmet, their talented tight end, out. And Tyreek Stevenson, defensive back, out. Courtney Cronin covers the Bears. She says Kyler Gordon popped up on the injury report Thursday. He's been ruled out. Big blow to the Bears secondary with Tyreek Stevenson also out. So they are down on the back end of their secondary. The rest are questionables on this injury report list. DeAndre Swift averaging 4.7 yards per carry. He's questionable with a groin. Austin Booker, defensive lineman. He's looks like reserve injured, designated for return. This fly is driving me nuts right now, which is making me lose my train of thought. But the big ones here are obviously Kmet, Stevenson. Those are two significant losses for the Chicago Bears, who, when you look at them statistically from a defensive standpoint, they don't exactly pop off the screen at you throughout this 4-game win streak and throughout their 6-game sample size. They rank 25th overall as a defense. They're 28th against the run, 17th against the pass, 25th in scoring, 3rd on third down, so they're great there when you got to have it, 7th on fourth down, and 27th in the red zone. That, to me, yes, it's a 6-game sample size. Yes, their degree of difficulty from a schedule standpoint has been somewhat underwhelming throughout this 4-game win streak. They've beaten teams like Dallas, Vegas, Washington, and New Orleans. Okay. So the Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, and Saints is who this team has beaten throughout its 4-game win streak. Prior to that, they lost to Minnesota week 1, at Detroit week 2, where they they got 52 points hung on them. Did the Bears. 52 by the Detroit Lions back in week 2. So there's opportunities here. There's opportunities for this Ravens offense if Lamar is out there, with Pat Ricard being back, whether it's a 6 offensive lineman, somewhere in the backfield, you name it. 42 is going to be moving bodies, going to be open up gaps and lanes. Ronnie Stanley as the blindside protector. Hopefully he's able to get through a full game with that ankle that's been nagging him. And you got to hope for some sort of personnel change, perhaps targeting that right guard slot. And after that, it's up to Derrick Henry and these ball carriers to hold on to the football. It's up to these wide receivers to run silky, smooth routes and secure the football. And most importantly, it's up to Todd Monken and company to set them up for success, play aggressively, perhaps test this secondary early after you establish the run, knowing that they are down some key men, like I've already mentioned, right? Tyreek Stevenson being one of them, Cole Kmet being another, Kyler Gordon being the other on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, Cole is a tight end, so one less pass catcher, one less security valve for Caleb Williams, who he's had his fair share of struggles this year. I think Caleb has shown that he's got a really unique ability to ad-lib, right? When he's at his best, probably throwing on the run. I think we saw that at USC. Having worked in the Washington, D.C. area, certainly was familiar with his iconic career at Gonzaga, where he played his high school football. What's funny about this is in order to throw on the run, you got to be flushed out of the pocket. In order to be flushed out of the pocket, you got to be pressured. The Ravens don't do pressure. Okay, maybe they do pressure. They don't do sacks. They don't do a whole lot of pressure either, especially with Odafe Owe and his pressures that he garnered and generated being elsewhere. By the way, he's got 2 sacks through 3 games as a Los Angeles Charger. Speaking of pressure, somebody they just brought in yesterday, Carl Lawson, that move became official today. He will not play, okay? John Harbaugh confirmed that Carl Lawson, the 30-year-old pass rusher that they brought in who was a free agent, spent last year in Dallas, will not play on Sunday.
Looks like he's in good shape. It won't be this game. He just got here today, but he'll be on the practice squad, and that's a good spot for him to get ready to play. And looks like he is in good shape. Short week next week, so we'll have to see how that goes. But we played against him a lot. Have a lot of respect for him. Really good guy too. So smart, experienced player. So that's a good thing.
Yes, but they need him now, and they're not getting him now. They're not getting him on Sunday. So back to the manufacturing process they go. Not a place you want to be in when you got a young quarterback who's still developing, who's going to be without his top tight end. And now, where's that manufacturing going to come from? Maybe not till Thursday. Maybe not till 6 days from now when Carl Lawson enters the picture. Here he is making his media scrum, if you will, Ravens debut behind the cameras.
Heavy, do you feel like you approach this opportunity with a different mindset than you might have been in years past?
No, I mean, every day I've had appreciation for life. Every day I've had appreciation for football. Every day I think we all should have appreciation for just being able to go out and smile and help one another. So I don't think it's been that heavy because, the fact that I even get those things are a blessing. So I'm very thankful.
You mentioned being a fan of Kyle Benoit. He also signed late with this team, saw a career resurgence. Is that something you followed? Anything that inspires you?
Absolutely. I've seen it from a distance, and it's really good to see because I think with every opportunity you get each single year, I think you should always want to get better, whether or not you're an older player, vet, young guy. So yeah, I've seen that from afar, and just I think I told him today. So when I was like, yeah, man, hey, I love to see it. You know, I think at like 32, going out there and having career years is like, that's something that, like, you know, if any, you know, there's a lot of negative talk in the world, and so like you might, you know, get down on yourself because of that stuff, but then you're like, hey, I done seen an example of that. So it's great to have a guy like that in the locker room.
Have you worked with Chuck Smith before when he was an individual coach?
Yeah, no, I worked with Chuck for like 8-9 years now, even before he was in Atlanta, because we were all from Atlanta, so he was calling me by my nickname. So when I got him on the phone, he was like, Woody. I was like, man, no, I was like, but, so yeah, so it's fam. So it was good to see him.
I know it's just one practice, obviously, but what was it like? What was that experience like for you, and just how did it feel to kind of be back out there doing those sorts of things?
Oh, it always feels great just to be out there and be able to play football and be around a good group of guys that want to work. So yeah, it was a positive experience.
What was your kind of impression of the defense? And just obviously you're still learning it, but
I think
initial impression.
I think my impression of defense is that I haven't been in a 3-4 in a while. I've been attacking 4-3. So kind of just getting up, picking up the terminology and stuff like that, just trying to be a sponge as much as possible, learning from anybody who's willing to teach me and learn. So yeah, that's been a positive experience.
You hope to be a 3-down player or pass specialist?
Whatever, I can do everything at a high level. My thing is just making sure I'm healthy and consistent with that part of it. But as far as being a 3-down player, I'm very, very capable to do that at a high level. But whatever the team asking me, that's what I'm going to try to go out and do at a high level and just do my best every single day.
Coming off a season where you had 5 sacks, were you surprised that it took this long to latch onto a team, and does it create a chip on your shoulder in any way? I mean,
I was going to have a chip on my shoulder, but there were just opportunities that I didn't think were the best fit for me. And it's like, sometimes I've always been in a rush for certain things. So it wasn't necessarily, didn't know how long the process was going to take. I just knew it was going to happen. And I know, I was going to take time just sharpening my axe instead of sitting there worried about what ifs and whatnot. It's like, hey, okay, well, I'm not here today, work tomorrow, work the next day, and enjoy life and just be with my fiance and family. So, yeah.
What makes it a good fit for you?
I personally think it's just more so the opportunity to play the defense, and I also think it's AFC North football like that. I kind of didn't necessarily know if it was going to happen here for years, but there's always been very much hints. Coming off the Achilles first game I played was the Ravens, leaving Cincinnati, the Ravens, and it's always kind of been like one of those things that's like, there are hints there, but you just never know. But I grew up watching Suggs in Dumerville, so just to get the opportunity to follow in footsteps of the guys that I've looked up to is very much a blessing.
All right, Carl Lawson making a good first impression with the Ravens, and back into the AFC North he goes. Again, to be clear, Carl will not make his Ravens debut on Sunday. That coming from John Harbaugh just a short while ago at his press conference. So the Raven debut for the 30-year-old former 4th-round pick of Cincinnati, who spent last year in Dallas, prior to that 3 years in New York with the Jets, and prior to that 4 years with the Bengals. That debut and that re-debut, that return to the AFC North, will have to wait another 6 days. Perhaps he plays against the Miami Dolphins. This stream is about the quarterback developments. And apparently we have a quarterback duo in the live chat. His name is Cameron Walker. And what I mean by that is a quarterback guru. I haven't had my second Celsius yet. Duo, guru, duo, guru. Cameron, so do you have intel that we don't in terms of Lamar Jackson's playing status? Because when you're in my shoes and you have a channel of 25,000 plus subscriptions, you can't get up here and say Lamar is absolutely playing when you don't know if he's playing or not. Are there signs pointing to the possibility of Lamar giving it a go for the first time since the second half of the Chiefs game? Yes. Can we sit here and write that shit in ink? Maybe you are with your Sharpie, but I don't have the luxury of doing that. My rose-colored glasses are off, and I understand that this hamstring had a 3 to 4 week timetable. let's call it 2 to 4 week timetable. Last time I checked, that 4 to week, that max time of the window of 4 weeks, he's still within that window. And while he's participated at practice for the first time since said window began, he was limited for a reason Wednesday and Thursday. He was upgraded to a full participant today, and now they're non-committal. He is questionable for Sunday's game, and I'm not telling you how to feel. Because if you got your fandom hat on today and you know this season is hanging on by a thread and there's a glimmer of hope, I know you are trying to speak it into existence that the man who gives this team a chance week in and week out, no matter the opponent, no matter who he has to his right, his left, behind, they will have a chance when Lamar Jackson is under center. And I know that there's been a lot of anxiety without Lamar there because clearly, whether it's been Snoop or mostly Cooper, this team is unfamiliar. This team is unrecognizable. With that said, what I've continued to say throughout this entire process is that there have been lingering issues. And those lingering issues and some of the deficiencies that have plagued this 1-5 team to its worst start since 2015, maybe even prior to that. Some of these deficiencies existed prior to Lamar going down. And I wonder, even though I'm picking them this weekend in a gotta-have-it game against Chicago, I wonder if some of those same deficiencies continue to linger into Week 8. With that said, historically, if you want to lean on history, after the bye, John Harbaugh and company have been nothing short of excellence. And excellent. I need a Celsius. Somebody bring me a Celsius in the Florida area. 14. Yes, I'm addicted to Celsius. 14-3 is what the Ravens are in weeks that directly follow the bye under John Harbaugh. For whatever that's worth, if you want to lean on history, if that's going to help you leading into Sunday, then maybe that's what you hang your hat on. 14-3 is pretty darn impressive. Only Pittsburgh at 15-3 are better since 2008. And that's where things currently stand for the Ravens ahead of a gotta-have-it game against Chicago. Bears come in confident, I would think, 4-2. Saints certainly aren't. They might be the worst team in the NFL, the Saints, or is that Cleveland? I don't know if you could be the worst team in the NFL with the championship defense, and I do believe that Cleveland has a defensive a championship defense. So, look, bottom line is this is a team that is as healthy as it's been since earlier this season. This is a team that needs its QB1 in a gotta-have-it game. And this is a team that ultimately its season is hanging on by a thread. You got Roquan Smith playing against his former team at their place for the first time since he was traded in season back in 2022. You got to hope that Ronnie Stanley's ankle will hold up so that he can handle Chicago's defensive front, but more importantly, he can protect Lamar Jackson, allow him to go through his progressions, allow him to survey the field. Now, I heard the other day, I can't remember what video it was. It was either PFF or Chris Long, and I can't remember. I want to say it was PFF, and one of their observations is that even before Lamar went down, they felt like Lamar was not seeing the field the way that he typically does. And clearly, he didn't just drop off the face of a cliff or the face of the earth from a processing standpoint as a processor and one of the game's greats. No, the lack of protection dropped off a cliff. And so there's a direct correlation between that lack of processing, that anxiousness in the pocket, that maybe indecisiveness in and out of the pocket that has led to forced errors, that has led to bad sacks, that's led to straight up sacks that he can do nothing about, even the great Lamar, whether he's healthy or not. And so that's where they stand right now in a gotta-have-it, do-or-die moment. Will they respond? I got them going 27-21, and I want to open up the guest lines for your predictions. 27-21, Ravens find a way at home against these Chicago Bears coming up on Sunday. Richard, talk to me. We are going back to 60 seconds today. I know. I can hear the collective moaning through the waiting room. but it's only because I have plans tonight and I got to get my ass over to St. Pete Beach here shortly. So, Richard, Asmodeus, running mate, whatever you want to call him, let's cue up your 60 seconds. I know you'd last a lot longer than that. Good to see you, my friend. What's going on? Rave,
Yeah,
what the hell are you doing here? Hold on a second, Rave. It's not your turn yet. Go ahead. Let's reset this for you. What's up?
I mean, so I'm not too worried about this game for the Bears. At the end of the day, I think the Bears are not really ever going to be a threat. For me, this season all rides on what the hell do we do in the Super Bowl if we ever make it to the Super Bowl. Because the fact of the matter is, I know a lot of the fan base is very, hyped up and happy about it right now. But the fact of the matter is if Lamar takes us to the playoffs and we end up going one and done, or we lose in whatever championship game or whatever it's going to be, not the Super Bowl, we're going to keep Harbs. We're going to keep Orr. It's going to be the same shit again next year. So you guys are really, I see a lot of other guys agreeing with me that we want Harbs out. And so if that means that one season has to be bad, then you know what? That's what it's got to be.
Yes or no to this before I let you go. Was I fair in my assessment of clarifying what I meant by cooked earlier? And if you missed it on the vault, I'll just quickly regurgitate. When I say the Ravens are cooked, as I did earlier this week, and I'm standing tall on that, I don't believe they're going to the postseason this year. I think they've dug themselves a hole that's insurmountable, that's undiggable outable.
Diggable outable. Got it.
But that doesn't mean that I don't think they're capable of making it interesting.
Yeah.
Particularly over the next 3 weeks where they play Chicago, Miami, and Minnesota. And after what the Vikings put out on tape last night with Carson Wentz, and I know J.J. McCarthy will probably be back by the time the Ravens make that trip to Minnesota, begs the question, will the window stay open? Will there be a window of opportunity over the next 3 weeks? Was I fair in my assessment? Yes or no?
I'm going to try to make this concise, but I have a couple points. So you were fair.
Here's a 60-second time limit for a second one. Now everybody else is going to want 120, including Drado. Go ahead, Richard.
So you were fair. I said that the Ravens were cooked since the Houston game. Houston should not have won that good. Yeah, we had everybody out. I don't give a fuck. Houston's shit. So the fact that they won 44 and whatnot against us, I don't give a damn who the fuck we have on the field. They did not fight. And so, yeah, I mean, there's more problems than Lamar. Their O-line's still a problem. I don't see them changing that. I mean, they had a month to change that. They did not change that. And so if they make it or don't make it to the playoffs, the reason why you see a lot of people being negative is because every single game we lose, the worse our draft pick's going to be. And not many of us actually think we're going to hit the Super Bowl. I don't think any of us do at this moment.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Have a good weekend, dude. More pregame coverage coming up. I'm sure I'll see you, some of you guys there. If you're just tuning in, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. The injury report looks really good. Are you buying that it makes a difference? Coming up on Sunday. Predictions. It's on. Chef, you with me? Chef Trez in the building in the waiting room. If he turns his camera on, we bring him on. If he doesn't, we go back to Rave. Chef brings it on, then we go back to Rave after this. What's up, Chef? Prediction time. Your 60 seconds starts now, pal.
First thing, maybe bump it up to 80 seconds. 60 seconds kind of quick. Next, Ravens win. I mean, I'm kind of I think either the Ravens make the playoffs and they're one and done, or make it to the divisional round, or get bounced, or something like that. I think just those glaring issues of like how the team was so beat down after week one and they didn't believe in themselves, they didn't believe in the message or whatever. I think that underlying issue is still there. So as cool as it would be to have that Cinderella story, like we go all the way, blah, blah, whatever, changes are going to have to happen during the off season. So, that's just kind of where I am. Also, your follow-up question, where you faring your, I guess, saying that the Ravens are cooked. Yes and no. I mean, I guess. I think the way that I really look at it is I would say the Ravens are more like the Bengals of last year, how they start off pretty bad and then yeah, they won some games, but it really comes down to you need certain teams to lose, other teams to win, to where you can have that chance, that tiebreaker to like, okay, if the Steelers lose this game and the Broncos win, the Ravens are in. Like, that's just a scenario that I think the Ravens will probably have. So,
Okay. Two things quickly. One, is Lamar playing on Sunday? And two, what's for dinner?
uh, is Lamar playing? I would say he plays. If he doesn't play, I mean, I'm only saying I hope he plays because I got him on my fantasy. In other words, hey, I'm killing it in fantasy right now. Had to do a little Band-Aid patch and pick up some other quarterbacks, but yeah, I think Lamar plays. If not, Snoop. So that just is where it is. I think Cooper gets traded just as trade asset or something. I don't know. And then for dinner, leftovers. I got my made chicken last
Nice.
night. Had some salad and stuff. So
Nice. Enjoy it, brother. Appreciate the
cool.
call. Chef Trez, guest lines are open. Shelly says 24-17 is her score prediction. I think the Ravens could score more, but they tend to start slow, and it takes them a minute to get going. I'm saying by the second half, they pull away. Pull away? Meaning pull away by 7 points? Nah, I got you, Shelly. 24-17, Shelly's prediction. Join the Discord server, guys, if you haven't already done so. I'm going to drop a link into the show notes, or excuse me, into the, let's see, live chat here in just a second. There it goes. I'll go ahead and pin that sucker. If you want to join over 1,000 members and counting, 24/7 communication and a hub for Baltimore sports content. We'd love for you to go check it out by clicking on the link that I have as a pinned comment. Rave, 60 seconds, baby, and not a second more. 1, your score prediction. 2, you think Lamar's going to play. And 3, oh, well, hell the hell. You're not going to listen to it anyway. Go ahead, Rave. 60 seconds starts now, pal.
Boy, I know you not lying. I did not hear what I just heard. You go, come on, Bobby Baltimore, and try to stick your chest, Bobby. Cut it out. You was backpedaling like a mug on the vote. And it's like, oh, I feel like, they might do a little something. Ha, ha. And then y'all go just listen to this? Really? y'all gonna let him just stick out his chest? Oh, now you big tough on Bobby Baltimore? Come on, cut it out. I watched you. See, let me tell you something. When I just hit that super chat, I was standing 10 toes down when I said, okay, look, Falala's still blocking. So we gonna cook. I mean, we might win, sure, but we still suck because we got Falala blocking. Come on, cut it out, Bobby. Now, then you got Osmodeus coming up here looking like Falala's long-lost cousin. Like, cut it out. Let's get it out of here. Bobby, listen. I'm not still 10 toes down. Don't try to act all tough. And here, come on, Captain, talking about something. I just don't understand. I believe that. No. You was on that vote acting all tough. Come on, man. Backpedal like a mug. Yeah.
You're absolutely nuts. How is it backpedaling? Okay, I heard all that shit earlier today on the vault. How is it backpedaling when I was clear that what I meant by the Ravens are, what do you think? They're going to go 0-11 the rest of the way? I'm not predicting that. It ain't Babby backpedal. Maybe Bobby B.O. in Florida. It's 85 degrees every single day. Goddamn. I'm ready to be wearing flannel season. Manny, what say you? 60 seconds, baby. 60 seconds. He says 60 seconds, my ass. I'll show you 60 seconds. Welcome back into the show, partner. Good to see you.
60 seconds. Yeah, it's got to be 80. I mean, you gave Asmodeus 120, so come on, you got to pay out.
Richard had a whole lot of shit to say. What I'll do is I'll reset you now. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Is Lamar playing? I don't know. I'm not there. I'm going to be there for Miami for that. If he plays, we win. If he doesn't, we lose. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the score. It's just if Lamar plays, we win. If he doesn't, we lose.
I mean, you could make an argument. You can make an argument that they're the worst team in the league without Lamar. Yeah. You can make a legitimate argument they're the worst team in the league without Lamar.
Yes. How many we are? 3 and forever?
3 and
without
12,
Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's as simple as that. Do we need a culture changing? Yes, desperately. We need a culture changing. Is Carl Lawson going to save us? No. Are we going to go 11-0? Maybe. We don't know.
Good to see you, brother. I'll catch up with you on Sunday. Pre-game show starts at, what did I say, 11:30, I think? 11:30. Good signs. Good signs that this injury report looks as good as it has in weeks. Good signs that perhaps, not confirmed, but perhaps Lamar will give it a go. It's been, he's been listed as a full participant. And John Harbaugh had this to say as a result earlier.
It looks like he's in good shape. It won't be this game. He just got here today, but he'll be on the practice squad, and that's a good spot for him to get ready
That
to
would
play.
be Carl
And,
Lawson, Bobby.
Looks like
the right thing.
I know this. He practiced today, full practice today, so that was good. And we'll see where we're at going forward. I just think we're going to talk about it as we go and figure out what we got to do to try to win the game. I mean, that's really what we're going to try to do. You know, what's our best opportunity to win the football game on Sunday? Where does everybody stand, including number 8, Lamar, and anybody else? And that's just how it goes. And you do your best. And really, you could, I'm sure, when we do talk about it at length, you know, but it's not really a public conversation. And we're going to try to put our best team out there and play our best.
There you go. Courtesy of Fox 45. That's all they can do. Got to have it. 1 o'clock Sunday. Pre-game show starts at 11:30. Post-game, 5 o'clock inside the vault. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I wasn't lying. I'm going sub 40 minutes. I'm sorry. I got to run. 5 o'clock calls. It is not a date. It is not a walk and talk, but I will give you a couple quick updates. One, in Banff, Congressman and I, my friend Congressman and I, went on, I kid you not, went on a double Tinder date, and it went well. Nothing to speak of afterwards, but it went well. After that, a certain former New Orleans hinge match might be. Should I talk about this? I ain't talking about this. I can't get my. I just